Hey, what's going on, everyone? James9Numbers here, and welcome to a short series that I've decided to create because I felt like it. In this 12-episode series, we will be going through some of the events, new music, new disasters, new games, new memes, and anything that I could find on the internet, blah blah blah, sorry about that has occurred in 2021. I'm sorry that I'm posting this series late. I had some stuff that I had to take care of, but I finally took care of it. So yeah, I was originally supposed to be posting this in the end of December 2021, but due to some time constraints, I actually couldn't make it. So yeah, I'm making this up to you. Each video is going to be representing each month of the year in 2021. Duh. Now keep in mind that I'm probably going to be missing out on a lot of things, and most likely because I'm probably unaware of them at the time the video is recording. So, yeah, I came up with this idea back in September, and I had to go through the internet over the past 4 months just to see if there was anything that I could find that I wanted to add in the video. I've been trying to keep track since, but I'm pretty sure there's probably a lot that I've been missing out on. So if you want to, you can tell me in the comments below! As long as YouTube doesn't disable my comments again, like, god damn it, YouTube! Why are you doing this to some of my videos, god? Come on, YouTube! Anyways, oh my god, I am so sorry about that. Anyways, I'm also going to be mentioning shows that I've been watching over the past year because this year hasn't gone much better from 2020. I'm not kidding. And yes, I'm looking at my screen right now. I'm trying to read my script because there's no way I can remember all the words. Anyways, also there's going to be a chance that there will be some spoilers for some of what I'm talking about, so I'll make sure to post timestamps so you guys can actually skip forward. Also, some of the movies I've mentioned throughout the series that I actually haven't watched them at all. So I'm only summarizing the synopsis just so that way I can understand just what in the world the movie's about. So with that being said, I hope you all enjoy. On July 4th, rising TikTok star Caitlyn Loane took her own life at the age of 19. From Australia, she was a fourth-generation farmer who would post her farm life adventures on TikTok with her family in Tasmania. At the time, she had 51,000 followers, with some videos getting millions of views. She was a livestock manager for her parents so that she could get some work experience since school was not cutting it for her. She was also a member of the Devonport Football Club. In her final video, she made a photo montage of her life and sang a song. Considered a haunting video, I'll put that in the link in the description for you guys to check it out. God damn. Yeah, when I actually watched the video, and it didn't really sound creepy to me without context, so damn. That is really unfortunate. Also on July 4th, animator Derpixen posted a video trailer for Mime and Dash, an animation about mimes and crimes. Yeah, think about mimes doing crime. It has some inappropriate scenes, so he later on posted the animation onto Newgrounds and uploaded a censored version onto YouTube. There's talk about poop and other dirty stuff I won't get into because reading this is just disgusting. Fan art was made for the main characters, Choo Choo and Bon Bon. Yes, those are their names. In fact, their Pixen posted original art to Newgrounds, which you can actually buy in a poster. Hashtag Mime and Dash became trending and started going viral on TikTok. In the video, there was a mime thinking hard, and that would be subject to a set of memes on their own. I won't show any of those memes because, boy, this is fucking crazy. This is not, yeah, I don't want this video taken down. Alright, on July 7th, the season premiere of Big Brother 23 occurred. In Big Brother 23, the house guests were stranded in the house for 85 days. Oh yeah, and usually in how Big Brother works is, you get a group of people known as house guests who get trapped in a house. They have to compete each week to compete as head of household. As head of household, they get a lot of power. They get their own room, but more importantly, they have to nominate 2 people for eviction, which means basically they're up for elimination. And then they have to go through a power veto for a chance to get themselves off the block. Usually, it's the power veto is competed by the head of household, the 2 nominees. Yes, the head of household nominates 2 nominees, and 3 other people that are randomly drawn. And so they have to compete in order to potentially either keep noms the same or replace one of the nominees. And then afterwards, the the remaining house guests have to decide which of the two who goes home, who gets evicted from the Big Brother house. Hopefully you guys understood that. But yeah, that's usually how like Big Brother usually works. And yeah, there's always like a twist to Big Brother. So yeah, this season actually had a few twists. Oh yeah, and by the way, before I continue, CBS had made an announcement that on both Big Brother and Survivor that they were going to do a diversity pledge, where they were going to make 50% of the cast biracial or people of color or interracial. Basically, those who are not white. Basically, people of color. So yeah, at the start of Big Brother 23, the house guests were in groups of 4, and they had okay, I need to calm myself down. In the season premiere of Big Brother 23, the house guests were sent into groups of 4, where they initially competed in their first challenge for a spot to be team captain. Yes, in this particular season, they were playing in teams. The teams were the Aces, the Kings, the Queens, and the Jokers. And after their teams were selected, they had to like do a card stacking thing. You know, like one of those cards are like a triangle pyramid. The Kings won the first one. Yeah, the Kings while the teams were on actually ended up dominating for a little while the other teams lost members. But oh yeah, and before nominations were like picked for the first 4 weeks of the season, yes, the first 4 weeks, they competed in the wildcard comp, where the other teams that are not immune have to compete in a separate competition. Only one person can go in at a time, and once that person has competed, they can't compete again until all their other teammates have competed. And yeah, that's went on for the first 4 weeks while teams were around. Teams were gone after the 4th eviction, and the team setup was 4 Kings, 3 Kings, 3 Jokers, and 2 Aces. But then, after the 5th eviction, we go to the jury phase, and that's where the High Rollers room was introduced. And yeah, basically America had the option to vote for players to give them BB bucks, so for the house guests to basically gamble in order to compete in competitions to get big rewards. There were 3 rewards up for grabs, 1 for each week, so America could vote for like up to 3 times for the High Rollers room. The first advantage was a second power of veto, and where you had a chance to win it by throwing, like, basically throw your beer as far as you can, or chug it up, and then the winner of the second veto was actually determined by the power of veto comp. And then after that, during that specific power of veto comp, okay, I need to settle down. Players who competed in that comp can actually gamble for someone who's playing in the veto comp to see who would win, even if they are not competing. And so yeah. And that one was OTEV, by the way, but moving on. I'll actually have the series linked in the description below for you to check it out, so you guys can know exactly what I'm talking about. The second advantage was in that comp you had to rotate a ball using the roulette wheel, in which only one person actually did the challenge. So she ended up winning that no matter what, and she had to actually pull someone off the block. This was not optional; that was a requirement. So. And the replacement nominee was, she had to spin the wheel with all the remaining house guests, and basically wherever the ball landed, that was who was going to be the nominee. And that was before the veto comp. Yeah, the High Rollers room actually starts before the veto comp, and nominations will have already been placed, by the way, so just to let you know. So yeah, and then for the third comp, you know, in that comp, you have to plug Plinko chips into holes. You have to get the most of them, and the winner would get to be a secret, have the chance to win to be secret HOH, where a coin flip could decide whether or not the HOH would be dethroned or not. Which, spoiler alert, that specific HOH was dethroned. So yeah, and then after that, the rest of the season went on, as always, with the same format. And they had back-to-back double evictions. But yeah, there were some alliances, most notably the Royal Flush, which consisted of 4 kings, 3 queens, and 1 ace, and the French Kisses. Yeah, it was crazy. And the first HOH, Frenchie, went on a crazy streak. I think initially trying to target a romance, but ended up changing targets multiple times. His HOH went crazy, and he ended up being the second person evicted eventually, so that did suck for him. But the most famous alliance that was basically part of the main story of Big Brother 23 was the Cookout, which consisted of 6 black members, 6 people who are African Americans. The members were Hannah Chata, Azza, Xavier, Caitlyn, Tiffany, and Derek F. That's right. And they ended up forming a secret alliance known as the Cookout. Initially, it started with 5. Hannah was officially confirmed to have joined later on. And they would each of the members would basically select someone who they would work with, just so that way they would keep the Cookout inconspicuous. And they did manage to reach their goal to being the final 6, making this the first, meaning that there was going to be the first African American winner. And although this did bring some praise by some people, this also drew some criticism from other people because this was racially motivated. That's basically what it was apparently. So yeah. But either way, at the final 2, it was Derek F. and Xavier, and Xavier had basically won by unanimous vote. So yeah. And for favorite house guest, basically every house guest was eligible to be nominated by America as America's favorite house guest, and Tiffany barely edged out over who was my favorite player, Derek X. Yeah, I really wanted Derek X to win, but you know, not everyone gets what they want. Anyways, hopefully that was good enough of an explanation. If not, you can actually watch the series for yourself. So yeah, moving on. Alright, on July 9th, singers The Kid LAROI and Justin Bieber released their music video called Stay. In the music video, there's like so many pause scenes, and the video basically begins with so many pause scenes, and Kid LAROI sings basically not waking up from his bed, just doing basically defying gravity, which is awesome. And he basically sings the same lyrics about telling her that he's changed even though he never could, and basically that he wants to maintain a relationship with her, so he's basically telling her to stay over and over again. Yeah, there were so many impressive pause scenes, by the way, throughout the entire music video. It's really impressive too. So yeah, he basically throughout the whole neighborhood is paused, everywhere is paused, and he's basically trying to walk up to that girl. So basically he was trying to walk to a date. So yeah, and he's saying about waking up, and before he walks to the date, he's saying about like waking up drunk, and basically some of the struggles of that dudes go through in a relationship, what they see in a relationship and in life, which makes sense. Getting drunk, waking up, yep, that's kind of me right there. But anyways, yeah, after singing the same lyrics over and over again, Bieber starts singing on top of a building, and yeah, he sings about why the girl is so important to a guy, and basically how she needs to stay in the relationship. Yeah, LAROI was late on the date, and there were some scenes of both the Kid LAROI and Justin Bieber singing what looks like in a bank, which is pretty awesome that they managed to get the space for it. So yeah, that's really impressive. And this song only lasted like 2.5 minutes long, which I agree with some of the comments that say that they should have been longer. Oh my god. On July 12th, Texas Democrats fled the state capital to Washington, D.C. in order to prevent a voter ID bill / voter restriction, whatever you want to call it, from getting passed. When they fled the state, they prevented a two-thirds quorum needed during a special legislative session with the intent of lasting until August 7th, which is when the session ends. The goal is to pass voter protection legislation in the federal level called the For the People Act. The bills currently in the state legislature would have eliminated drive-through and 24-hour early voting, as well as some other interesting features. Because the session was on hold, the legislature could not work on property taxes or foster care funding. Yes, apparently the state legislature is responsible for that. Anyways, because the session was on hold, apparently the Dems did the same thing back in 2003 over gerrymandering. Oh yeah, they had fancy planes and buses while traveling, and both parties took sides. The legislature voted to get the fleeing Democrats arrested, and needless to say, some of them did end up getting arrested. On July 16th, Space Jam: A New Legacy was released in the US as a collaboration between the Looney Tunes and LeBron James. LeBron was given a Game Boy by his friend Malik to play back in 1998. Although he was having a good time, this led to some problems, and he had to put the Game Boy down to focus on his basketball career. In the present day, he is trying to convince his sons to play basketball. One of them, Dom, wants to be a video game designer. Invited to Warner Studios, Dom gets held hostage in the serververse, and LeBron had to play a basketball game to save his son. If he loses, the real-world spectators would have forever been trapped in the serververse. LeBron meets Bugs Bunny, and they travel across the serververse to recruit all the Looney Tunes for the game. Although LeBron tries to teach them the basketball basics, the Goon Squad had the lead in the match. LeBron decides to use cartoon physics to his advantage, and with the help of a glitch in his son's game, Bugs Bunny sacrifices himself to win the game. A week after the incident, LeBron sends his son to E3 Game Design Camp, and it turns out Bugs Bunny has the ability to regenerate himself. Man, that's freaking awesome. I wish I could do that. LeBron decides to temporarily take the Looney Tunes in until they can go back to their world. Oh my god, wow, that is awesome. Congrats to LeBron with that collaboration too. On July 19th, a movie called Old was released in the US. A family that is considering divorce goes to a beach that looks nice but has a dark secret. The next day, the family was invited to a secluded beach that is initially kept secret. After a dead body shows up and someone gets dizzy when trying to get back to the resort, they realize that they were stranded. This beach ages people much faster than normal, which is why people were randomly dying, and that the kids were quickly getting older. Wounds will also be instantly healed, and decomposition will also be quick. After many attempts of escaping, getting help, and killing each other, the remaining survivors ended up discovering a secret message given by a boy the previous day about a coral that will help them escape. We later find out a research clinical trial is trapping people in order to pursue clinical trials for diseases to create drugs to treat them. Our heroes survived, and the scientists were arrested. There's a YouTuber named Sci-Fi Recapped who summarized the movie well, and I will link that in the description below as well for you all to check out. On July 20th, Marjorie Taylor Greene, a U.S. representative, was asked if she had been vaccinated. Her response was basically this.
Well, your first question is a violation of my HIPAA rights. You see, with HIPAA rights, we don't have to reveal our medical records, and that also involves our vaccine records.
For those that don't know, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act is a bill passed by Bill Clinton that protects sensitive patient health info from being disclosed without the patient's consent. The act only applies to doctors, nurses, companies, and others related to those I just mentioned. There's a chart comparing this bill to HIPAA, which is a made-up bill that allows people to not wear masks. From that, many started tweeting ridiculous questions as memes, which I will be putting my favorite ones here right now. Or a statement with Green's line to basically show how much of a Karen she is. And no, Karen is a name, not a slur. On July 21st, Pokemon Unite was released on the Nintendo Switch in the US. It's a strategy team battle game where players battle each other with 5 Pokemon instead of the usual 6. That's lame, but hey, that's something. Unlike other Pokemon games, players will work together to collect, train, and evolve Pokemon to beat the journey. In the game, players can choose what Pokemon they want to be as before they start. From there, they can choose their movesets before the battle starts, and then they have to run around the map and beat other Pokemon using their moves and held items in order to collect Chaos Energy, which they have to put on their opponent's zone to score points. I think that's how you pronounce it. So it's kind of like soccer. Yes, I'm gonna call it soccer, not football. I'll only call American football football, okay? Between July 23rd and August 8th, the 2020 Tokyo Olympics were finally held after delays from the pandemic. There was your typical opening ceremony, which included your parade of nations, which gave each country to have 2 flag bearers, 1 male and 1 female, to promote gender equality and the torch relay. The country of Eswatini, formerly and still known as Swaziland, participated in its new name for the first time. In the games, there were some new sports added, such as wrestling and baseball. At the end of the Olympics, the U.S. ended up winning the most amount of gold, silver, and bronze medals, making the U.S. the ultimate winner of the 2020 Olympics, with 39, 41, and 33 respectively. The People's Republic of China had the second most amount with 88 medals, followed by the Russian Olympic Committee, which is used to represent Russian athletes since Russia was disqualified due to drug abuse during the Sochi Olympics. Oh yeah, needless to say, there were a lot of controversies in the Olympics, to say the least. Because there were so many of them, I have the Wikipedia page that lists all the controversies, and you can research each controversial event if you want. I know a lot of people don't trust Wikipedia, and I only use Wikipedia for, just so that way I can find other sources. So, yeah. But there's too many events, so I just had to just take that and use that as a reference for now. But anyways, guys, literally, yeah, check the links out if you want to know more about them. So yeah, moving on. On July 26th, 18-year-old Rylee Goodrich had died from a gunshot wound in a Corona movie theater that was displaying the movie The Forever Purge. Yeah, the town's name was actually called Corona. God damn it. Anyway, she was on summer break from Canyon University with her boyfriend, 19-year-old TikToker Anthony Barajas, who was also shot and was on life support until succumbing to his injuries a few days later. They both first met at a 4th of July weekend. Nobody heard the gunshots, and they weren't discovered shot until the movie was over. Police arrested 20-year-old Joseph Jimenez for the murders, which he stole Rylee's wallet. Prosecutors are filing a special circumstance charge in which he could end up receiving the death penalty in California. Wow. Damn. Well, let's hope he gets the death penalty. On July 29th, memes about China's social credit system went viral on social media. It's a score system actually used by the Chinese government to monitor citizens and businesses to promote those who follow as China says and punish dissenters. This was originally going to be a financial rating and banking system for the economy, but it became planned to be a national reputation system in 2014 and officially became law a few years later. Although there have been memes of this up to this point, the meme didn't actually get popular in the West until July 29th when Instagram user Will Repost for Food made a repost of the original. Since then, many people started making their own reposts, with some giving you an absurd amount of points for getting something right, while others give you an absurd amount of negative points for doing something wrong. They got so popular on YouTube, other China-themed memes such as the John Cena memes I mentioned earlier were being used together to make a Super China meme. Damn, there's so much news about China. When will this end? Spoiler alert, it's not over with China yet. And lastly, on July 31st, 18-year-old TikTok star Timbo the Redneck has died from a vehicle accident. According to his friend, he was doing donuts with his pickup truck, Big Booty Judy, at his friend's house when he was thrown off the vehicle and it landed on top of him. For those of you that don't know, doing donuts basically means like you're driving your truck round and round in circles. And yeah, I've never done it, but I've seen others do it, and it's pretty cool. But anyways, yeah, Timbo was a Canadian who would post funny skits onto TikTok for his over 200,000 followers. He was with his girlfriend Corey Williams at the time of his death. Aw, damn, that really sucks. Having to witness your own boyfriend's death. That's hard. That is really hard. Anyways, that's it for now, everyone. I hope you all have enjoyed this video, and as always, there's probably some events that I've missed out on, so feel free to put it in the comments below. And yeah, as always, I hope you're all having a good day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Time for the bloopers.
Also on July 4th, animator Derpixen posted a video trailer for Mime and Dash, an animation about mimes and crimes. Yeah, think about mimes doing crime. It has some inappropriate scenes, so he later on posted. On July 21st, Pokemon Unite was released on the Nintendo Switch in the US. It's a strategy game. On July 26th, 18-year-old Rylee Goodrich had died from a gunshot in a Corona movie theater that was displaying the movie of the movie. Damn it, I messed it up.